Hey, live life. What's going on, Omar? How you doing? Welcome everybody to Stiffler Manufacturing. We'll through the BS right away. This YouTube video may contain copyright material in accordance with the fair use doctrine under U.S. copyright law. The content is intended for education, commentary, and criticism to further discussion and meaningful discourse. We at Stiffler Manufacturing, which is an LLC, is a veteran-owned business registered in the state of Arizona that is a physical brick-and-mortar workshop and online retail store. We sell products that are lawful in all 50 states and are not restricted by any federal law. We do not sell firearms. We do not ship overseas. Stiffler Manufacturing only ships products within the United States of America and its territories per the International Traffic in Arms Regulation, or ITAR, and the U.S. Department of State's Directorate of Defense Trade Controls, or DDTC. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, G23, what's going on, man? Welcome, everybody, to the channel. It is Cyber Monday, and our Cyber Week sale is up 20% off all slides, whether they are stripped or complete. That ends December 6th. So, yep, week-long sale, Cyber Monday to the 6th. And we have been spending all day today working on the Stiffler's Glock 26 style slide. And yes, I can confirm the Glock 43. We have begun design work. Oh, right on, man. I hope that goes real well. There we go. Let's pop that thumbnail in there. And pinned. There we go. Oh, no promises on when it's actually going to be ready. We are just beginning design work on the 43. The 26 is almost ready. Just finishing some machining that needs to be done with the 26. There we go. Let's get that added on there. And save and done. What are you guys all building lately? We actually just picked up some more PSA frames. Picked up a few more Glock parts and stuff we're going to be testing. So what is everybody else building lately? Gerardo Medina, what's going on, man? I mean, I always have to recommend, OEM as the standard. Not saying you won't find better stuff out there, match grade stuff. If you go with our completes, we utilize SCT manufacturing parts. Are they the best? No, you'll find better. Do they work? Yes. Yeah, there's better stuff out there, match grade stuff. I've talked with a few competitive shooters, a few other builders. Yeah, there's better stuff out there. But for the price, the SCT manufacturing parts are not bad. They run. Bought a ported barrel for it. Oh, right on. Now, of course, be aware, ported barrels will scorch your undercarriage. That's just the nature of ported barrels. I thought most people were aware of that, just a few people were not, so we tell people now. There we go. Yeah, we've been getting quite a few people reaching out to us on our Instagram. It seems like while Facebook has restricted us and YouTube is limiting the algorithm, Instagram seems to be spiking a little bit, which is interesting. We won't say no to it, though. Happy to see people checking it out. Wife stole your slide. That's awesome. There we go. Hey, FE Ordnance, how you doing? Not much. Just figured we talk about the Cyber Monday sale we're doing, chat people up, see how people are doing. I'm not busy for a bit, so what the heck? Do a short live. Maybe a long live, who knows? Went out to the movies with the kids. They had fun. Good times. And I'm fidgety and bored in the background, so I'm playing around with my definition knife. Oh, that's awesome. To let her off. Yeah, we'll see how much traffic we get today. I need to set up like a long table with builds. Problem is the builds are always being utilized. Employees have them. They're being tested. They're being shown off to people. No, not too bad. Spent a lot of it working, but we got some family time in too. Oh yeah, I finally got some damaged pixels from the last time I dropped my phone. Not enough for me to go and replace it, but just enough to notice that it's there. I know there's more expensive and like better knives out there, but I kind of like this one. I had another knife. Damn thing's worn the hell out. I had it with me when I was in the Middle East, and it's just like, all right, it's finally time to get a new knife. That thing's dull and bent. And it got a lot of use. I used it as a tool. I could sharpen it up, but it's fine. It's gotten its use. Yeah, they don't. I know a guy who has a butterfly knife, and he's had it since, oh God, probably '07, '08. And he picked it up from his unit. And he's just been sharpening it and cleaning it, and it's completely worn down. Like, he sharpened it so much, like a full blade is actually missing. It's like missing half the damn blade. I mean, he's been using it as a tool for like almost 20 years. Gets dull, he just resharpens it. He finally got a new one, and now it just sits in his drawer. I need to do another range video. Need to get to the range sometime, but getting away from the shop, getting away from the other jobs and stuff we got to do, it's not easy. I mean, we can always go to the indoor range, but they charge you. There's limitations on what you can do. You can't really record. Got to get out to the desert. I mean, define abuse, you know? Like, if I dropped it for the 100th time, you know, is that abuse? I remember they wouldn't replace my iPod years ago because they had a tiny clause in there about acts of God. And I was out in the rain, unfortunately, got caught in the rain, and it fucked up my iPod. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not replacing it. Like, well, that is some bullshit. Oh, also got to start looking up some gun laws again, too. It looks like some more stuff's getting addressed or passed, and have to make sure it doesn't affect us. I mean, they all affect us, you know, but, you know, have to make sure it doesn't affect the business. Like, there's this one going on in Colorado in 2026 where they're talking about banning semi-autos, but I don't know if it's just rifles or if it includes pistols, so I gotta take a look at that one. I mean, they gotta prove I threw it. I want to see their proof. Like, how do you know I did it? Show me the science. Let's see here. So, Colorado Senate Bill 25-003, titled the Semi-Automatic Firearms and Rapid Fire Devices Bill. It was already signed into law in April 2025. Bill prohibits knowingly manufacturing, distributing, transferring, selling, or purchasing specified semi-automatic firearms defined as rifles or shotguns with a detachable magazine, and as well as gas-operated semi-automatic handguns with a detachable magazine. Fuck you, Colorado. Shock sensor in the phone? That's bullshit. Maybe I just, tripped and hit the ground kind of hard. Yeah, I'm not sure how this affects us. I don't think this affects us. Well, we'll see. Got to look into this for Colorado, but all these states and their bullshit. Why do they just hate freedom? I was watching. Where was this from? Not Switzerland, Scandinavia, maybe. I was watching a video. Either way, Europe. And in the video, a guy was, excuse me, a guy was climbing up a ladder, and homeowner or apartment owner, whatever, person who lives there was recording the guy with his phone. And the guy was trying to get through the person's window. Now, I'm just sitting here like, dude, you didn't have like a fire poker or a bat or a broom to just shove this guy back down that ladder? Like, I get it, you're European, you don't have a gun. If they were to pull this shit in America, boom, boom, done. It's a shame there's not a hole down there for him to fall into. But anyway, guy gets to the top, shoves the, person who lives there back. Person who lives there shuts a window or a glass door or whatever it was. And the guy shatters that and then storms into the home. And it's just like, holy shit, does this guy have no survival instinct? Because he's always staying with it. And the guy's got a butcher knife, mind you. And he's staying within arm's reach of the guy like the whole time. Like, no survival instinct on this guy. Elijah, what's going on, man? Davidson Defense is a distributor, and we as a manufacturer sell our slides to Davidson Defense. That's why they have our slides. There's actually a whole list of people who have our slides for distribution, for vendors, small gun shops, stuff like that. So, you've got Davidson Defense, MMC Armory, Delta Team Tactical, Optics Planet, No Quarter Innovations, Moriarty Armaments, 3CR Tactical, MDX Arms, The Hub, Sirius Arms, Task Force Red, and RB Tactical Market on eBay. They all have some of our slides. Oh, and Wolverine Arms. I forgot them. Oh, right on. Was it this one, by chance? I wonder if I can find that video again. I showed you guys a video the other day that was just god-awful. Because, I don't know if FE Ordnance was in here for that, but that video was just horrendous. Black Slide Gold Barrel, right on. I'm going to pull that video up again because, oh my God. That was just some next level retardedness. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I don't even have to tell you. Just watch. That is the worst RSO I've ever seen. And you know what? You know what? That's a life lesson right there. You ain't ever going to do that shit again. It's like a parent, just letting their kid touch the outlet, because they ain't ever going to do it again, are they? Hopefully. I'm flummoxed by what I'm seeing, to be honest. It's absolutely astounding. The things that led to this. I encourage everyone to look up gun fail videos from time to time because it just reinforces the pucker factor. Some people get so comfortable with firearms that they forget the pucker factor. Hey, Booty Bandit, what's going on, man? Absolutely, yeah. That's like the worst. That's the worst shooter ever, and one of the worst RSOs ever. It's just like, how do you see a guy aiming the muzzle at his own body part and not intervene? Like, what the fuck? I mean, don't be wrong, Darwinism right there. Just letting stupid things happen to stupid people. Oh my goodness. But yeah, everybody should look up gun fail videos from time to time because, I don't want to mock because some gun fails are understandable. It's people with a lack of experience, but it's definitely something to learn from. Absolutely, Booty Bandit. Oh yeah, I saw. Well, not one quite like that. G23. It was a guy doing a little gangster video. He wants to pretend like he's all cool and stuff, and so he shoves an AR pistol down his pants. And when he pulls it out of his pants for the video, his finger engages the trigger and he shoots himself in the leg. And it's like, okay, cool. So, yep, you don't know what you're doing. On top of that, if you're doing your cool gangster vid, like, dude, BFA that thing, right? Don't have it chambered. Why? Why was it chambered? Oh. But it's okay. It's his left, and it keeps the pucker factor alive. Because firearms are tools, and they need to be respected. But some people treat them like they're toys, like they're part of their... Like it's a purse. They treat it as an accessory. On the run writers, man, you need always one more than the next guy. That's how many's enough. One more than the next guy. Actually, personal recommendation is that every home have a starting minimum of 4 to 5 firearms. And that will be a full-size handgun, a compact handgun, a rifle, a shotgun, and where the 5th one comes into play is a vehicle gun. And that could be any variety of gun, just something that you are comfortable traveling with in your vehicle. And that's where you start. Whether you add more to that or not, that's up to you. That's your preference. That's your, how you grow as a marksman, as you are defending your home and family. That is up to you. But, bare minimum 4 to 5. And after that, grow as you feel like. Also get yourself a good fixed blade knife, you know, and a good impact tool. I mean, you know, a folding knife ain't bad either, but, you know, get yourself a good fixed blade knife. I guess the question on how many G19s are enough. How many do you need to arm your family and maybe some friends and neighbors? Same thing with rifles, you know? Of course, they should already have their own guns, but I mean, you know, some people are, you know, hoping for the fire extinguisher, you know, just happens to randomly appear right as the fire does. You know, kind of like Ukraine, right? You know, Russia invaded and a bunch of citizens didn't have guns, and oh shit, all of a sudden they needed guns. Not that we're likely to face that scenario, but you never know. You never know. Better to have it and not need it. Better to train and never need to use it. Yeah, I got a cousin. He thought he'd never need it, and some dude broke into his house and pulled a weapon on him in his house, and he shot him. So he was definitely glad he had it. I mean, we don't have enough of them, but the government should just reissue all those old firearms that the military no longer needs, you know, like old M1s and 1911s and whatever else. Congratulations, you're an American. You're 18. Here's your rifle. Any of you video game fans out there, that's one of the lore pieces in Helldivers. All citizens 16 and older are given a bolt-action rifle. How are you going to defend freedom without a gun? Exactly, you ain't. I'm going to talk on my soapbox. See, that is practicing freedom, right? You're not defending it, not in the physical sense. Because when words fail, you need force. I mean, who remembers Starship Troopers? Force. Force is violence. Violence is the supreme authority from which all other authority is derived. I might be paraphrasing a little bit, but yeah, that's not wrong. You might not, you know, be morally okay with it, or maybe it doesn't give you a good fuzzy feeling, but it's true. Everything is derived from force. In this modern world, though, that makes people cringe and they go, oh no, violence is bad. No, violence is a good thing. It's just, how is it implemented? You can do violence good ways, for good things, for good purposes. There's a lot of bad people out there, and the reason they are so bad and so comfortable doing bad things is because nobody initiated them into the consequence of violence. Block 40. It was a number of years ago, but I had some tweaker at a gas station who was getting very aggressive, wanted money from me. I said no, and he decided to press the issue by becoming physical. And I had that thing on me, and all of a sudden he's much more respectful and left me the hell alone. And I hope nobody ever needs to do that, you know. I really hope not. But if you have to, you better have that on you. Absolutely, I do not blame you there at all, Booty Bandit. Not at all. Every truck driver should be strapped. Hey, Below Average Utah Dad, if you guys are not following him, check him out. Go to his channel. All right, he does some pretty cool content. Also, he gave away one of our slides on one of his builds, and that is freaking cool. Absolutely, gunslinger. Stay strapped to get clapped. And all those people out there, violence isn't the answer. No, it's the solution. There's already bad people out there. Good people need to be capable of committing violence. But people misunderstand that. They think defensive violence is somehow bad. Because they think all violence is bad. No, no. Violent people need to be addressed with violence. And yeah, it doesn't have to be a Glock. While we participate in Glock clones, that's what we make. We turn bars of steel into slides, just like these ones here. If a Glock isn't your thing, that's okay. Maybe you like Smith & Wesson, maybe you like Ruger, maybe you like Springfield. Doesn't matter. There's a gun for everybody. Rebel Spear, what's going on, man? Hey, G23, thank you. And for those of you just joining us, it is Cyber Monday. We are doing a week-long sale, 20% off all of our slides, stripped and complete. Go to our website, check it out. By the way, YouTube, we do not sell guns. We do not sell firearms. We sell lawful parts and accessories. We do not sell firearms. We are following all federal laws. We are in compliance with all FFL requirements. The ATF is okay with what we're doing. So YouTube, please educate yourself. And I am just bored and playing around with my definition knife in the background. You can check those out at Definition Knives. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just kind of like the knife. I do know the guys that are involved. DLD After Dark, Flying Rich Firearms. They make the knives, or rather, someone makes the knives for them, and then they sell them. Oh, thank you so much, Below Average Utah Dad. I think they're pretty cool. And, I think the price is pretty reasonable compared to a lot of others. I mean, our ranges are from, $145 to $350, depending on what you get. Yo. This one here, it is Burnt Bronze SM17 Zoom. Thank you, G23. My slide is so good, his wife stole it. Man, some things never change. Just, you know, some of the variables. It used to just be jackets and hoodies that women would steal, but now they're stealing our gun parts. There we go. Refilled my water. And, you know, be like Stiffler. Hydrate. Drink your water. How are you going to move and groove if you're dehydrated? Now that's a woman. Yeah, I mean, coffee has water in it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So does whiskey. I mean, that's how they proof it down. You know, so there's water in there. Kinda. Yeah, unless your bottle says barrel proof, they added water to it. So you're good. I might have to start doing Rumble more often, though, guys, because, I mean, if the algorithm's going to keep us down here where we've been for weeks now, we might just give YouTube the old finger and say, screw it, we're going somewhere else. I know Below Average Utah Dad's been dealing with some of that. F the Ordnance been dealing with some of that. A lot of content creators, even over on Instagram, a bunch of 2A content creators got the axe. Facebook suspended us temporarily, then unsuspended us. I guarantee in a week or two we'll be suspended again. So, yeah, we're probably gonna go over to Rumble. I've been trying to keep this going until we got like 2K or higher, and try and do our giveaway before we get suspended again. But excuse me. But they have crippled us on the algorithm, my guys. Not just us, too. A lot of people out there. Anybody who's making 2A content, anybody who loves the Constitution, loves the country, they're all getting crippled. But it's in vogue, you know, it's in fashion to piss on the country and the Constitution right now. So, you know, those people are getting their stuff on. You can have, like, some gangbanger type stuff, and they'll totally let you promote that. But, no. Freedom, America, the Constitution. Yeah, that stuff's getting nailed pretty hard. What I need to do is get a secondary camera, and I need to start playing around with some of the streaming software. And that way I can do what DLD is doing and stream on YouTube and Grumble at the same time. Because honestly, that's pretty smart. Just stream on both services at the same exact time. Downside is you've got to remember you can't touch anything on YouTube, but you can touch on Rumble. You know, unless it's just the slides themselves. I can touch these, no problem. But builds, strap checks, can't do those on YouTube. but Rumble will let you. My issue with X is that it looks like it's very pay to play. Same thing as a lot of the social media right now. And YouTube kept us, not pay to play. We have tried to pay with Meta, with Facebook. And their advertising and stuff, it is god awful. And I'm fairly certain they just took our money and did nothing with it. Yeah, I should probably set up StreamYard. Lots of my videos get shadow banned, but I did have an old clip of mine randomly get 10K views overnight. Oh, dang. Yeah, it's weird how that happens. I encourage people to constantly check on each other. So I'll go through and refresh YouTube periodically just to see who's doing a live. And I will not get notifications. Certain people are doing lives, but if I manually check, I can then actually check out their lives. So it's just something I find I have to do periodically. Which, it's freaking annoying. And like FV has found out, if you start doing anything longer than an hour, it starts to hurt you too. Whereas before, what I was getting was right around the 15, 20-minute mark. That's where I'd get hundreds of people in. And then at the 45-minute mark, that's kind of where it petered out. Now it's just I'm crippled the whole show. Oh, and we were also talking about Colorado earlier because they are passing a new anti-gun law. Or they have already passed it, SB 25-3. And where it becomes a little sketchy is that the law is very broad and it covers any device, part, kit, tool, accessory, or combinations of parts that increases the rate of fire. So someone who's anti-gun, what I could see them arguing is, and by the way, just so we're good on all of our stuff again, this YouTube video may contain copyright material in accordance with the fair use doctrine under U.S. copyright law. The content is intended for education, commentary, and criticism to further discussion and meaningful discourse, blah, 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 blah. So, where I see this law becoming an issue is, here you have, say, our Viper slide, where it has windows and weight reduction. I could see them stupidly arguing, hey, lighter slide, less weight, shoots faster. Yeah, I kind of a few people told me they found themselves unsubscribed, and they were like, "Hey, I never unsubscribed. Just we weren't subscribed to you anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know YouTube's been going around and doing that. I've had to check on people. I'm going through my list, and I'm like, hey, I'm not finding so and so, and I'm like, let me go and manually search for them, and yep, I was unsubscribed. So YouTube is doing some sketchy, dirty pool. And what we have here is we're limited on platforms that won't restrict us. So a lot of us are stuck using platforms that hate us. YouTube does absolutely hate 2A content creators. And if they don't, they're doing a piss poor job of projecting that they don't. I mean, they're not giving me any reason to believe that they don't hate every 2A content creator with all the stuff they do. Same thing with anything under the Meta umbrella, so Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Reddit absolutely hates anything related to the possibility of sale. So Reddit went through and purged businesses. But then they didn't purge all the people doing sketchy stuff. Like, businesses are out in the open. We're licensed. We're registered. Like, everything we do is out in the open. But they didn't purge the people doing sketchy illegal stuff. Oh, God. Yeah, they could probably argue that, G23. That said, even 17.4 steel, sustained cyclic rates of fire, will break. And I've told so many people this before, is that the platform was not designed to function with a switch for sustained rates, or FRTs, or binary triggers, or G-flexes, or whatever else. So you are going to naturally wear your parts kits out. You are naturally going to wear out your gun. And people are like, well, hey, I broke this, and I'm also kind of an idiot. So this must be your fault, or this must be the parts kit's fault. And it's like, it's not anybody's fault other than your own. You pushed your build beyond the breaking point. You made it fire at a rate that it was not designed for. I'm not saying don't do it. If you want to go out and, get an FRT or binary trigger, whatever, go ahead. So long as you are, not going to get in trouble where you live. But just recognize that you're probably going to have to replace parts kits sooner, or that you're putting undue stress on your slide or on your frame. Like, it's like people who do barrel meltdown videos. Everything machined can fail if you put enough stress on it, or you put the right stress on it. I've seen Glocks fail with a switch on them. I've watched videos of it where the Glock OEM, the standard, failed under sustained fire. Like, you can find this out there, but, it's the Karen customer mentality, where they think, well, hey, this broke because I used it in a way that I probably shouldn't have, so therefore it's somebody else's fault. And other people do know that they are putting stress on their build, and they know that. So what do? They bought extra parts so that when something fails, they can just fix it. Like, that's the smart way to go about it. I'm not telling you not to get, an FRT and whatever. I'm saying just be aware of it. And I've gone through so many Reddit threads and so many other discussion forums where I'm so happy there's a lot of new firearms owners out there, but there's so many of them that are sadly very uneducated and don't have this thought process because of the situations they had in life where there was no one to teach them about firearms. And I don't proclaim to know everything. I absolutely don't know everything. I am not an authority on firearms whatsoever. But they did not have that in their life. They then entered this, and then they got stuck around some bad people or some also ignorant people. And that's what influenced their thought process on firearms. Kind of like the anti-gunners, right? They don't know anything about guns, but they got stuck in an environment and around people that tell them all these things about guns that are untrue, and so they believe it like it's doctrine. The same can also happen to people who do like guns. They get stuck around people who don't know what they're talking about, or who don't like to try certain things or do certain things. The same thing can happen. And then, of course, we all have our preferences, but some people try to treat preference like it's also doctrine. Like, I know a guy who only likes guns with wooden furniture. That's cool. I like guns with wooden furniture too. They look cool. But there's other options. He does not like polymer guns. He likes steel and he likes wood. And cool, that's his thing. That's what he likes. I'm not going to crap on him for it. But he doesn't give anything else that's different a fair shot. And that's where I think he's wrong. Like, I really like some good-looking wooden firearms. Good wood stock. Cleaned up. Polished up nice. Stealing that slide. I don't blame you. Stiffler slide's worth it. I mean, I've got some old World War One and World War Two rifles that are wood, and man, they're beautiful. But I've also got some modern stuff too. All guns are cool, except that little credit card gun. I will admit, I do not like that thing at all. I'm also not a big fan of like the Bond Arms Derringers. Not for what they are, it's the price point. I can't justify the price point for what they are. Oh, heck yeah. I've always wanted to shoot a Type 99. I still haven't shot an M1 Garand yet either. Used to know a guy who had one, just the opportunity never came up to shoot it. Maybe someday. Yeah, I think looking at this Colorado SB 2503, 25-03, I think we're going to be fine to continue sending slides to Colorado. My concern, though, is that they were talking about a gas-operated semi-automatic handgun with detachable magazine as being restricted. The exclusions are manually operated bolt, pump, lever, or slide action that are not specified semi-automatic, firearms with permanently fixed magazines less than 15 rounds, and a single or double action semi-automatic handgun that uses recoil to cycle the action. But gas operated is a no-go. And so I wanted to get full clarification on all of that. Glock is not gas operated. We're fine. But you never know. Yeah, you always have to read what their definitions are, because just because they label something like you or I might understand doesn't mean that their definition's not fully crazy. Right on, Rebel. You have a good one. I don't know. Might go to Texas, might go to Tennessee. I don't know if we have plans for Oregon. There we go. Yep. Yep, definitely got crippled on this one. Let's take a look at the analytics. Who was the most people I had at one moment? If it even tells me. I think we had like 11 people at one moment. Yep. Man, so getting screwed. I should go to frickin'. I should go to Rumble. Hey, Outlaw, what's it? Outlaw Eyewear with NDG training. Okay, yeah, man, we'll blast this out for you. No problem. We did a giveaway with NDG training a while back. That was pretty cool, actually. And, you know, we might do another one of those sometime in the future where we do a joint giveaway with multiple channels. That was one of the largest ones we ever did, where we did the slide, someone else did the barrel and the parts kit, someone else did an optic. Some people gave away T-shirts and targets and decals and what was it, like ballistic eyewear and some ear pro and all kinds of stuff. Hey Reaper, how you doing, man? I mean, we're gonna do another small giveaway once we hit 2K. So things like patches and stuff, we'll do that. We still have to do our 1K giveaway, which I do apologize for. We really should have gotten that giveaway done sooner. Things got busy at the shop, and we have not made the 1K giveaway slide. But once we are ready to do it, we will definitely announce it, because and we're still in debate on exactly what we want to do to the Viper slide that we're making. You know, do we want to laser engrave it? Do we want to, all kinds of stuff. Slides in the market for a build I have, the few RMR red dots. Oh, right on, man. No, I mean, this would be the time for it. 20% off stripped and complete slides. The completes come with ELD performance barrels and SCT manufacturing parts kits. And I believe it's either Glock or it's Lone Wolf sights. Pretty sure it's Glock. Yep, Glock. Of course, you might find better, parts kits out there, something else you're looking at, then in which case I'd just go with the stripped. Hey, 10 likes. Right on, everybody. Well, we have hit the hour mark, so this is where the final questions come in. You guys can ask whatever. I will answer whatever. If I don't know the answer, I'll just make something up. Oh, we also have a zebra stripe now, too. So instead of orange, it's... Well, right now we are going through the last of our Arctic White, and we are going back to Stormtrooper White. The Arctic White is an F-Series Cerakote, and it's a little more matte, whereas the Stormtrooper White is an H-Series Cerakote, and it's a bit more glossy. But we are, once we're completely out of Arctic White, we are switching back to Stormtrooper White. That's not a bad way to do it, Reaper, because, you can always upgrade, and then you can you can keep the parts and then use them for another build, or, if you need to do a repair, do a swap out. It's always good to have extra parts on hand. Especially if you're a Switch owner, always get those extra parts. I'm never going to forget that. It's an experience I had with somebody where they were just like, I don't understand. why, you know, my build broke after putting a switch on it and I ran like 1,000 rounds through it. Yeah, and everyone's build's different, and you know, you might have different needs down the road. But, you know, as long as it's put together right, should work out just fine. You looking at a 19 or a 17? And if you're looking at a Viper, and again, this all depends on how your build turns out. But if you're looking at a Viper, you might need to go with a lighter recoil spring assembly. Maybe 13, 14 pounds instead of 15 to 17. Again, this is all dependent on your build. So if you're seeing cycling issues with the Viper, you might need to dial down the poundage on your recoil spring assembly. Because the Viper is much lighter than the other slides. Yeah, that's just me in the background with my definition knife. Oh, yeah. What about the rest of y'all? Anybody got any crazy questions? I see you back there, sitting in silence, in judgment. Nineteen's my favorite, though I do like the 19 on a full-size S or 19X frame. Just fits my large hand better. The 17's nice, too. Just, the 19's great, and I think it just needs a slightly bigger frame. It's like I don't really like the 26, to be honest. It's so small. I get why people like it, though. It's compact. You can take it, you know, in concealed areas. I get it. It's got more, you know, rounds than the 43. So, yeah, it makes sense. Just, you know, for guys with larger hands, it's not as comfortable. But, you know, in any situation, you can totally run it. You know, so long as you train with it. Ooh, I lost a like. Cool. And everybody dipped to 0. Thank you, YouTube. I presume there's still people in the chat, but YouTube says it's completely empty. Well, if there's no more questions, that's probably where I'll end it. This has been Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn steel bars into slides, just like these right here. We're based in Arizona. We are veteran-owned and operated. We've been doing this for almost 3 years. We make slides that fit the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17. We're almost done with the Gen 3, well, Gen 4 Glock 26. And we have just begun design work on the Glock 43. We are planning on going to SHOT Show in Las Vegas, Nevada come January. So if you're going or if you know someone's going, feel free to look us up. We should be there alongside MMC Armory. There we go. And, of course, we have our Cyber Week sale going on right now. 20% off every single slide. Strip slide, complete slide, whatever color, does not matter. 20% off this week. So check us out at stifflermanufacturing.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to message us, reach out to us. You want to show us your build, we'd love to see it. And thank you guys so much for popping in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for any of the new subs we might have gotten. It's always greatly appreciated. And as always, stay 2A every day.